Power. Now, for our MMA guys, this is what it's all about. Power is the most important part of our training. We'll do plyometrics, we'll do Olympic lifting, we'll do rope pulling, we'll do sled pushing. We'll have a bunch of different exercises and movements to get our athletes as powerful as possible. Because MMA, wrestling, combat sports, the basis is power endurance. That may sound like an oxymoron, but that's what the sport's all about. So we need our athletes as powerful as possible and to be able to repeat those bouts of power over and over again. Now for your regular clients, it's a bit of a touchy subject. So would I get a 50-year-old off the street doing Olympic lifting right away? No, I wouldn't. If their movement patterns are good, they can do other exercises that will generate power. So they don't necessarily have to be Olympic lifting, but they can start with some sort of plyometric, a very, very, very low intensity plyometric, maybe on the MVP shuttle. And they'll progress their way up. But for our athletes, it's very, very important that we get them as powerful as possible. So we'll do a progression of plyometrics, especially through different phases. We'll definitely have them Olympic lifting at least twice a week. And we've set up our rope, which is a very important part of our pulling power. And I'll show you different exercises that will, maybe you've never seen before, but will produce power for, number one, our sport, and number two, maybe your personal training clients you want to have a bit of fun with and you want to keep it safe at the same time. I'm with Nordin Taleb. He's a rising star in the MMA world, great fighter, good athlete. Obviously the seated box is high. What he's going to demonstrate is just a regular box jump. So one of the later progressions, he's going pretty high. So you can start off your athletes obviously lower. We've progressed to a higher angle. He'll start off doing a regular set of box jumps. He's going to explode up, soft landing, step down. We're going to want to drive from the heel toe, just like an Olympic lift. Land soft. Good way of developing leg power. So Nadid's going to go ahead. Soft landing. He's going to step down. Get set up again. Don't rush it. Good power production. Explode up. Good landing. Step down. We'll do one more. Down and up. Good. And step down. So that's a box jump. Now, what I'll do to progress someone to hurdles, which is the last progression, would be a reactive box jump. No one's really doing this. What we'd have him do is we'll bring in a step. He'll take off from the step, react down, work on a very little ground time, so a quick reaction time, and explode back up and land. This progression is a reactive box jump. So Nordin's going to jump down, explode up from the floor, soft landing. It's the progression before hurdles. So go ahead, explode up, soft landing, perfect, step down. He's going to take off, explode up, soft landing, step down, do one more. Up, and step down. If you have a few athletes in a row, what you can do is if it's a team and they're all at the same progression, the same level, you just have one going after the other, depending on how much equipment you have. So you could have Nordin take off, George, David, everyone one after the other until they get their 6 jumps in or whatever the protocol calls for. We're going to progress up to hurdles. Great exercise. I'm with George St. Pierre, welterweight champion of the world, one of the best athletes we have here, one of the best jumpers we have here. So this is actually very low for him, but he's going to demonstrate of how we can start off low and progress our way higher. He's going to be doing a regular hurdle jump. We'll do 4 in a row. So he's going to go ahead. We'll do one more. And with George, he's a very explosive athlete. He has very little ground time, which is what I want. Good. Almost like a super ball, bouncing and reacting to the floor and bouncing up like he has springs, which is good. Now what we'll do is we'll raise them up. Quatrième.
Ouais. The last one or
No, second to last.
this one?
Yeah. Now this for him, still pretty easy, even though you wouldn't have most athletes go to this height. Again, his form is great, very little ground time, exploding up, good landing at the end.
Should I do it before or before?
What?
Do it before.
What? So hurdle jumps. Good, and rest. Now, a component that I've put into it is adding hurdle jumps with an actual box jump at the end. So I'm changing the skill level a bit. We'll put a high box for George. So he's going to do 3 of them, and I'm going to take this hurdle away, and I'm going to add a plyo box.
Go?
Yep. Good. One of the exercises I love that I've developed for my athletes is a progression where it's just a concentric jump. It's not plyometric because there's no stretch reflex, but George is going to take off, hands at his shoulders, because eventually we progress to a weighted jump, and he's going to land soft onto the hurdle. But he's starting from not even an isometric contraction. He's basically from a resting contraction. He's not even contracting. He's going to explode up, push off the heels to the toes, just like a regular jump, and land soft. So go ahead. Step down. Now, it's high. Do another one. We're going to want to keep our shoulders up, so what we'll do is we'll put weights in his hands. Now, to keep him honest, number one, don't worry about weighting it heavy. I want the weights to stick there. Stick on your shoulders, explode up, concentric, and rest. Very good. Do one more. Again, driving with the heels, pushing with the toes, ankle, knee, hip, boom, and rest. Good job. So a lot of people train only in the sagittal plane, which is very dangerous when you have a sport that takes place in multiple planes. What we're going to do is I've already shown you the box jump, the reactive box jump. Not only do we jump, I'll show you the hurdles after, but we also do single leg exercises, and we do lateral and medial exercises. So Cleo's going to demonstrate a linear hop. So a hop is basically takes place on one leg to the same leg. So he's going to hop onto the box. He's going to explode up, land soft, step down, same leg, explode up, land soft, step down, switch legs, explode up. Good, step down. One more. Explode up, step down. Very good landing. Now, that's a linear hop, taking off one leg, landing the same leg. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a lateral and medial hop. Now, a lateral hop is basically going outside the knee, and medial hop is going inside the knee. Same idea, you want it explosive. So on an earlier phase, for an earlier beginner, which I'll show later, we'll actually absorb the landings, take off. But for my athletes who are advanced, I want them with as little ground contact as possible. So Cleo's going to go lateral and medial hop. Exploding up and back. Explode up and rest. Good. Breathe. Other side. Medial hop. Explode, 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 explode. Good. Rest. Lateral hop. Up, 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 up. Rest. Good. So I've shown the hops, medial, lateral, linear. We've done the jumps. Now we're going to do basically a bound. A bound is taking off one leg, landing the other leg. Now running is bounding, so running is plyometric. But today we're going to go exploding from the left leg to the right leg, lateral, bounding. Here we go. That's it. Explode, 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 Good. 4, 3, 2, rest. Good. Great piece of equipment I've actually gone a long time without, and I can't believe I have, is the Shuttle MVP. We recently got one at the facility, and it's great for teaching jump dynamics where you're lessening the load on impact. So for people who can't do hurdles or squat jumps, you can even do a single leg squat here to where you're actually going into a fuller range of motion than you normally would. So the progression here we're going to show is a squat jump. What's great is she can land, absorb, and take off again. So it's a good way of progressing someone up to actually jumping. It's a good way with deconditioned athletes and doing rehab, but it's also great for people who are in shape that want to progress up to the next level. So Michelle's going to do a regular jump squat. She's going to explode up. Same dynamic as a jump. You can see she's driving with the heel. She has good ankle extension, which is great. Landing and exploding up. Now try doing one to the next. So one after another. Go one and again, 2 and again, 3 and rest. Good. So she's absorbing, doing one after the other. Great way. Now she's doing obviously a bilateral exercise. Single leg squatting off one leg. She can go one leg, I can load it, and all I have to do is lessen the weight here. I've lessened it a bit. It's still going to be a bit heavy, so she's going to explode up. Come back, drive. Come back, drive. Good. Same dynamic. It's tremendous. She's getting great hip, knee, and ankle extension. I love it. Again, if I want to change the dynamic of it a bit, I can either lessen the load, and it'll lessen the impact, obviously. But we can turn her to her side. What I love doing with the MMA guys who do a lot of side kicks is we'll turn her onto her side. It's a great dynamic of pushing from that angle which you normally wouldn't do a jump from or a hop from. So she's going to explode up, drive, land and go. Good, land and go. Good, land and go. And rest. Turn around, do the other side. Explode, body stays straight, explode, explode, still love the way. She's getting good ankle extension, knee extension, hip extension, and relax, good. So tons of exercise you can do on this machine. You can do a lot of upper body exercises with cables. I love it for the jumps, I love it for the landings, I love it for the single leg stuff. Good progression. Obviously Michelle's in shape, so she's showing you a ladder progression, but you can basically do with any athlete that's coming off a knee injury, start them off single leg squatting here, doing a one leg press basically, and you can start doing the plyos so that they start getting that eccentric load and landing patterns down before they can actually progress onto the more difficult exercises. So Shuttle MVP, thank you very much. Great piece of equipment.